In the annals of World War II, 1943 stands as a pivotal chapter, where the tides of conflict shifted dramatically. This year, often overshadowed by its notorious predecessors, encapsulated the turning points that would eventually lead to the downfall of Axis powers in Europe. This historical analysis examines the strategic developments of 1943 during World War II, focusing on military campaigns and their impact. We will explore how the Allied forces, through strategic planning and operational resilience, began to systematically dismantle the Axis advantage, ushering in a new phase of the war. As the winter of 1943 intensified, the besieged city of Stalingrad became the site of a decisive defeat for the Axis's eastern ambitions. This monumental battle, known for its intense combat and high casualties, not only marked a significant military defeat for the Axis powers, but also a crucial psychological blow. The battle, which began in late August 1942, saw its most critical phase unfold as the harsh Russian winter set in. The German Sixth Army, under General Friedrich Paulus, found itself encircled by Soviet forces led by General Vasily Chuikov and General Georgy Zhukov, who executed a masterful counteroffensive. By early February 1943, after months of grueling combat, German forces were compelled to surrender, with over 90,000 troops captured. This marked the first instance in the war where an entire German army group capitulated, shattering the myth of invincibility surrounding the Wehrmacht. Strategically, Stalingrad was a linchpin in the head of state of Germany, 1933 to 1945's plan to secure the oil-rich Caucasus. The defeat effectively halted the German advance in the east, forcing them into a defensive posture. In the broader context of the Eastern Front, the victory at Stalingrad provided the Soviet Union with the strategic initiative, allowing them to launch a series of successful offensives. This shift compelled the head of state of Germany, 1933 to 1945, to divert significant military resources to the Eastern Front, weakening Axis operations elsewhere and signaling a fundamental change in the strategic landscape. Simultaneous to the intense fighting at Stalingrad, the deserts of North Africa were experiencing intense conflict. As 1943 dawned, the sands of the Sahara bore witness to a crucial chapter of the Second World War, the Allied push against the Axis powers, culminating in the significant defeat of Axis forces in Tunisia, an event later dubbed Tunisgrad, paralleling the grueling Battle of Stalingrad. Prior to this final showdown, Operation Torch, initiated in November 1942, saw large-scale landings of American and British forces in Morocco and Algeria. This aimed to diminish the presence of Axis forces and pave the way for an eventual invasion of southern Europe. Under General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Operation Torch squeezed Axis troops from both east and west, continuously disrupting supply lines and tilting air superiority towards the Allies. The Axis forces, already stretched thin, faced significant logistical challenges. The retreating troops, led by General Erwin Rommel, were relentlessly pursued by the Allies. By late April 1943, the Battle of Tunisia, a series of fierce clashes, saw the Allies slowly overcoming stiff resistance. The culmination came in May 1943, with the unconditional surrender of around 250,000 Axis soldiers in Tunisia. This massive capitulation mirrored Stalingrad, dealing another significant blow and marking the end of Axis dominance in Africa. It highlighted the effective coordination of Allied forces and set the stage for subsequent invasions into southern Europe. With the Axis reeling from their losses in North Africa, the Allies prepared to capitalize on this momentum. Operation Husky, launched in July 1943, marked the Allied invasion of Sicily, designed to knock Italy out of the war and open a new front. Commanded by General Dwight D. Eisenhower, with forces led by General George Patton and British General Bernard Montgomery, over 160,000 troops undertook one of the largest amphibious operations of the war, catching the Axis powers off guard. The campaign in Sicily was intense and swift. By mid-August, Sicily was in Allied hands. The rapid collapse of resistance in Sicily had significant repercussions throughout Italy. This crumbling war effort led to the overthrow of Mussolini on July 25, 1943. The new Italian government, secretly negotiating with the Allies, signed an armistice on September 3, 1943, made public 5 days later as Allied forces landed on the Italian mainland. However, the Germans swiftly implemented Operation Axa, reinforcing positions in northern and central Italy and disarming Italian troops. German forces quickly released Mussolini and set up the Italian Social Republic, continuing the war alongside Germany. The fighting in Italy would drag on, characterized by intense guerrilla warfare and grueling battles, hampering the Allied advance. While the Italian campaign was slower than hoped, it tied down German forces, preventing their deployment to the rapidly weakening Eastern Front. As Italy capitulated, the Eastern Front was witnessing yet another monumental shift that would further undermine the Axis powers. Bolstered by their victory at Stalingrad, Soviet forces shifted from defense to offense in 1943 with a series of strategic counteroffensives. The true testament to Soviet resolve came during the summer at the Battle of Kursk, from July 5th to August 23rd, which remains one of the largest tank battles in military history. German forces launched Operation Citadel, aiming to cut off the Kursk salient, but the Soviets, forewarned by intelligence, fortified the region. The German assault faltered against well-prepared Soviet defenses, leading to significant German losses in manpower and tank strength. Following the failure of Operation Citadel, Soviet forces seized the initiative. In a series of follow-up operations, they not only recaptured Kharkov, but also advanced beyond, liberating towns and cities. By late August, the Red Army had inflicted substantial casualties and regained significant territories, dealing a severe blow to German morale and capability. The strategic importance of these victories extended beyond mere territorial gains. They eroded the aura of invincibility surrounding the German military and demonstrated the growing effectiveness of Soviet strategies. By the time 1943 drew to a close, it was clear that the balance of power had shifted significantly. The Soviet victories at Kursk and along the Eastern Front, combined with setbacks in North Africa and Italy, had not only recaptured vast swathes of territory, but had also inflicted substantial and lasting damage on the German military apparatus. This continuous pressure forced them into a defensive posture across multiple regions. In conclusion, 1943 was a transformative year. Through a combination of strategic planning, operational resilience, and sustained effort, the Allied forces achieved crucial successes that advanced the path to eventual victory. The cumulative effects of these defeats irreversibly turned the tide of World War II in favor of the Allies, demonstrating the beginning of the end for Axis aspirations in Europe. And that brings us to the end of today's fascinating journey through history. If you found this story as captivating as I did, I'd love to have you as part of our growing community of history enthusiasts. Hit that subscribe button for more World War II history and ring the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the incredible stories that shaped our world. Each week, we uncover hidden gems from history that will challenge what you thought you knew. What surprised you most about today's topic? Do you have any historical mysteries you'd like us to explore? See you in the next one.